It's one of the most recognisable, diminutive mountains in Scotland, the Scur of Eigg. It's the must-do walk for anyone who comes to this island off Scotland's west coast.
Wow. But there's much more to this magnificent island than just the Scur.
Eigg is here, served by ferry from Mallaig and in summer from Isle of Eigg. The Scur is on the south end, and there's a magnificent walk on the north end of the island too, both in this video. We are on Eigg for just 2 nights, but we will see so much.
We look at the best way to crack Eigg.
If it starts with a ferry, it's probably an adventure.
Morning.
Liz, Maggie the dog and me spending 2 nights on the most populated of the small isles, one of the Inner Hebrides.
Hang on a second, time you across it now.
There's 12 square miles of Eigg with just over 100 people, yet around 10,000 tourists visit each year. So great weather in early January is clearly a good time to go. Our big rucksack is travelling to our guest house with Charlie, who runs the local taxi.
Oh, hiya, Charlie.
All the details are linked from the video description, while we head to our first objective, the Scur.
We've often looked out from Ardnamurchan across to Eigg and thought, that's such a distinctive skyline with the Scur. Wonder what it would be like to go up that. So, with the good weather we happen to have just now at the start of January, they said to me, why don't we go over to Eigg? So, here we are. You've got to imagine this 58 million years ago, when there was a series of massive volcanoes right down this coast, one on Rum, one on Ardnamurchan and one on Mull. And with apologies to any geologists out there, because this is my understanding of what happened, the one on Rum erupted and the lava flowed down what was then a river valley, obviously solidified, and then over time, with glaciation, series of ice ages, those glaciers scraped away what were the sides of that river valley, and that rock was basalt, but the pitchstone lava was much harder. So that's what remains. That's what the Scur of Eigg is. It's an inverted relief map of what was an ancient river valley. And it's only 393 meters high. But it looks good, doesn't it? This feels very much like going up Sullivan, which we did in this video. It's one of people's favourite mountains in Scotland, although I do think that this is probably, in a way, a more recognisable shape, because Sullivan often gets confused with Stack Polly. I thought we were still on a regular path, but actually I think we might be nearly on the ridge. Wow. My old friend Bill Barber used to always say that the west coast of Scotland is for people who prefer quality to their good days rather than just a quantity of good days. Today is a quality day. 4-Paw Drive.
Put your hand in mine, together we can fly over mountains, rivers, ocean blues, as long as I'm with you.
When you're on this, gosh, this really does look like lava flow. Come on, Maggie. God, imagine this 58 million years ago, boiling hot, coming down into a river valley, and then all the eons of ice that have scoured the top of it and left it looking like this.
Heads up in the clouds, and we're not coming down. I'll stay up here and enjoy the view, as long as I'm with you. As long as I'm with you. As long as I'm with you.
This really is an amazing view. Obviously we've got the small isles all around, there's muck, there's rum, and great views on the coastline with Ardnamurchan just behind me, sky with a bit of snow on the Coolan. But you see that cluster of houses down there? That's where we have to get to in less than 2 hours before the sun sets. And that ridge behind those houses, that's tomorrow's walk.
As long as I'm with you.
We're staying in a very comfortable B&B. It's also a restaurant with rooms run by Sue, who's been here for 40 years, since before Egg's buyout. Fantastic views, obviously, across to the Isle of Rum. But there's a whole range of accommodation options on Eigg, from camping to camping pods to a hostel. And it was Sue who told us that the walk we're going to do today is probably the best on Eigg. Even better, she said, than the Scur, so we're looking forward to it. It's called the Finger of God, and it's because of that lump of rock directly ahead of us, meant to look like a finger pointing skywards. Much more than that. It continues right along that escarpment that gives, that divides Eigg in many ways. You've got the Scur at one end, and the escarpment is the high ground. And it's quite a steep start. And that is it. The Finger of God.
Okay, so it's not the Sky Coolan, but this is just the start. Today's walk climbs to the highest point on North Eigg before descending to a superb beach.
This is not my first time doing this section of our walking trip. In fact, I was here in 2017 to film the Eigg Women's Running Club for the adventure show. A chap called Ben took these pictures, and I remember it was a blisteringly hot day and I had a big rucksack carrying all my camera stuff, but Ben very kindly carried my tripod. And I remember it being a fantastic couple of days on Eigg. That might have been the last time I was here. Sky Coolan, Red Coolan Blavan. Slate looks just like, Slate looks like you could just reach out and touch it. Mallaig, where we came from, and looking into Knoydart, Lavan. You probably can't tell all these on the GoPro lens because it's so wide angle. And of course the Rum Coolan, spectacular as we saw yesterday. Oh yeah, north end of Skye there. What's that big loch called? Loch Bracadale. And MacLeod's Tables.
I was baptized in the fountain of youth. I was scrutinized for telling the truth. There's a scandal going on around here. Are reflections looking back in the mirror. Did I mention I was losing the tooth? I got to move on. Got mountains to move. I got mountains. Mountains to move, I got mountains. Mountains to move, I got mountains.
It's a steep but straightforward heather descent from what locals call the saddle, and we're linking this walk to a beach walk.
Yeah. I got mountains to move, I got mountains.
These are the so-called singing sands. In dry weather, the grains of quartzite make a rasping or singing sound as you walk or when the wind tumbles them. We're taking the coastal path back to Egg's largest beach in the Bay of Eigg.
I think this is where we will finish this particular walk. It's been an amazing day. It's been an amazing 2 days. We've still got another day to go. Day 3 on Eigg. It feels like we've been here for ages. It's been a great escape. We have a little bit of work to do because I've got some photographs to take for Blue 70, and this seems a good place to do it. Anyway, Liz wants a swim, which is more the point. Well, that pretty much brings to an end our 2 nights, 3 days on Eigg, and we do think we've cracked it. It's about 3 miles, 3.5 miles from Cleedale, where we stayed, across on the only real metal road, across to where the ferry comes in, but there might be time there at the cafe to get a quick cuppa before we go on board the Calmac. If you have enjoyed it, it'd be great if you'd give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Mostly we do cycling on this channel, but you never know. Anything could crop up. I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.